Hello and welcome to Quassi's Bell Tower with your host, Quassi. And today in this video we are going to learn how I made some resin cast 3x3 magnetic dungeon tiles. So let's get to it. As you can see, I've already made the silicone molds for these that I will be making resin casts out of. But for this, for now, we are going to go on to just the resin. So this is the smooth cast 320 off-white liquid plaster that I used. Now what I'm doing in here is I didn't have any spray to put on there for release mold, so I'm just using baby powder, which just works fine. And I'll go ahead and move it around in it. I'll even use a brush and brush it in, make sure it gets in all the corners and everything else. And then you just knock out the loose stuff and make sure it's just got a very fine coating on. Then you can go ahead and get your resin started. So as you can see now, I'm going to go ahead and start mixing my resin. I'll stir a little bit of A and a little bit of B separate to make sure that they're stirred up and they're ready to go. I'll go ahead and pour these in cups. Now I should be wearing gloves and safety gear, but I'm a rebel, so that's how it works. For me at least. But anyways guys, after I get A and B poured, I will pour them together. And yes, I should be measuring this, but I'm not, because you don't want to have too less of resin or too much. But like I said, I'm a rebel, and I guess I like to waste money sometimes. But anyways, here I am pouring these in. I'm just basically filling up these 2 cups and praying that it is enough resin, which I'll let you guys know it was enough. So once I got part A and part B all in 1 cup, I go ahead and I'll just stir it up. And when you pour the resin in, it's kind of foggy, so I basically just stirred it until it was clear again and it looked good. So now that I've got my resin all stirred up and nice and clear, I'm going to go ahead and pour it above the molds. And what I like to do is keep the cup up as high above the mold as I can and do a slow pour so that you'll have less air bubbles. At least that's what I'm hoping for. And honestly, these came out pretty good. There wasn't a lot of air bubbles. Yeah, there's some at the top, but if you take some sandpaper after they're dried and you've demolded them, you can actually sand them down smooth and get it right to where you want it to be, and just in case you made some mistakes, which I did on my very last one, which wasn't a big deal, but I was able to fix it. So by the time I got to my 3rd mold, the resin did start to show signs of drying already, and this stuff dries fast, so you definitely want to stir this up and pour this smoothly and as quickly as you can. Because as I'm going back and just doing a little bit of touch up, you can see right there that it's drying already. This stuff works fast. Now on the smooth on containers for this, it does say your pot life is 3 minutes and the cure time is 10 minutes, depending on the mass of the piece that you're making. Now I waited a few hours to pop mine out because I wanted to make sure they cool off, because the resin gets really hot while it's drying. Now I will admit that I did get a little excited for these because they were finally dry and I wanted to see what they look like, and I forgot to record me popping them out of the cases, which actually out of the silicone they pop out real easy because you got that baby powder in there. You just peel them back very slowly and they pop right out real easily. Now I kind of wish I did a video on the silicone molds I made so you guys would see on each side of the block that there is a hole on each side. It's about 1 millimeter deep, and that's going to hold the magnets that I'm going to put on these to hold them together. Now these resin casts did need some cleanup. It wasn't hard to do. It's basically just get some fine sandpaper and just clean up the edges, clean up the bottom so it's not smooth, and if it's too thick then you're just smoothing it down. It's quite easy to do, honestly. So here is 2 out of the 3 resin magnetic tiles that I made. The other one, the magnets are still drying, so I held off on that one. But as you can tell, here you go. Nice clicking sound that they're holding up. The resin on these is quite nice. The magnets hold up really, really good, as you can tell. See? So here are 2 out of the 3 tiles that I made. Now, like I said, these are magnetic and they hold up quite well. I really like these. I'm definitely going to make some more resin casts of some other things. I've already got some stalagmites that are sitting in a silicone mold, so I can cast those. Maybe I'll actually start selling some of this stuff if people want. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, guys, remember to ring that like button like a hunchback. Until next time, guys.